go through the difference for you. The key thing that you've got to, I guess, consider is what your general situation is. But if you do need help with your own situation, by all means, just flick me an email or give me a call, and we can sort of address that pretty easily over the phone or in an email. Now to move on to Family Tax Benefit Part A. So we'll talk about Family Tax Benefit Part A. I'm not going to go through the detailed eligibility criteria. Really what I wanted to sort of, I guess, present graphically as much as anything else is where it kicks in and where it cuts out. There are obviously some eligibility criteria around being a resident, all those types of things, but assuming that that's fine, we'll sort of go through what you need to earn to be eligible for different rates of Family Tax Benefit Part A. So I've got a chart up on the screen there. So we've got down the bottom, on the bottom axis, we've got annual household income. So it starts down here at $30,000 and it tapers off up here on the far right-hand side at $120,000. So that's sort of income range that we're looking at. On the vertical axis up here, what we've got is the Family Tax Benefit fortnightly payment. So the fortnightly payment that you would receive from $100, $200, $300, $400, $500, and $600 per fortnight. And I'm going to go through a few scenarios. And before I sort of kick off, this is predicated on the children under 12 years of age, so that's what it's based on. So if you've got children over 12, the amounts will be different. So the first chart along there, or the first line I put on there, is the blue line there, and the blue line refers to one child under the age of 12. And you can see it's an unusual curve. So we've got a flat level here, then it drops, a flat level, and then it drops away down to 0. So just to address that, what we've got here is a maximum rate. So the maximum rate is a bit, and then what's called a base rate, and then it tapers off. So the maximum rate of Family Tax Benefit Part A that you can receive is $160.30 per child per fortnight. Now that maximum rate is paid if your annual household income is $30,000, $35,000, $40,000, $45,000. Once you start earning, or approximately $45,000, once you start earning above approximately $45,000, you can see that maximum rate you receive reduces from the $160.30 per fortnight and starts to taper down. So it tapers all the way down to when you earn around $60,000 as a household in a year. And then we have this thing called the base rate. The base rate is $51.24 per child per fortnight. So household income is husband-wife income, any interest, any investments that you've got. Those types of things are included in household income. So you can see that the base rate applies from pretty much $60,000 right through to pretty much $90,000. So that's when you just get that base rate, $51.24 per fortnight. So if your income as a household sits here at $80,000, you know that if you've got one child under 12, you're going to get Family Tax Benefit Part A, $51.24 per fortnight. Conversely, if your household income sits here at $40,000 and you've got one child under 12, you know you're going to get $160 per fortnight. If you're in between sort of $45,000 and $60,000, you're going to get a reduction to the maximum rate, but you're going to get more than the base rate. So that's sort of go along the axis there. If we sort of look here, we say if we earn $50,000, well, you can see it's going to be about $120 per child per fortnight. Where it starts to taper off is when you earn above $90,000, it starts to sort of decrease down here. And if you earn pretty much above $95,000 with one child, it cuts off altogether. So general rule, if you're earning above as a household above $95,000 a year, you're probably not going to be eligible for Family Tax Benefit Part A. So that chart there is one child under 12. Now just throw up another chart, the red line that's come along here, or another line on the same chart I should say. The red line is two children under 12. So you know that the maximum rate is $160.30 per child per fortnight. If you've got two children, then effectively it's just double the maximum rate per child. So that's that line up here. The base rate, again, is double for the extra child. What changes the more children that you have is what we call here the taper rate. So the rate at which this section of the chart and this section of the chart start to decrease. You can still see that the $45,000 is a general rule. If you start earning, if you're below that, you're generally going to get the maximum rate. But the taper rate, it starts to sort of not level off, but sort of spread itself a bit, so to speak. And the level of the base rate starts to creep in. So this is a smaller amount here the more children you have. I guess what's important, and in a planning sense, what a lot of people really start to focus on is when they would be eligible generally around 105,000 if you've got 2 children under 12. If you earn 105,000 or less, you will be eligible to some family tax benefit Part A. And just to tidy things up, we'll go with the 3 children under 12. Again, you can see the maximum rate is 3 times the maximum rate for one child, so that doesn't change. But the taper level, this curve, if you like, starts to extend itself out to the base rate being smaller. And as a sort of general rule, again, generally speaking, if you're earning above sort of 115,000, this level over here, and you've got 3 children under 12, well then you're pretty much looking at not getting any family tax benefit Part A. But if you've got 3 kids under 12 and you earn under 115,000, chances are you will be eligible to receive some family tax benefit Part A. So that, I guess, when you get a copy of the slides, you've got to print that off and sort of go up here in the chart and say, look, my household income is $80,000 and I've got, in this situation, let's say 3 children under 12. You scroll across here to the left-hand axis, you know you're going to get a little bit above $200 per fortnight in total family tax benefit payments. So that's the purpose of putting that chart together for you guys. That sort of covers off family tax benefit Part A, and hopefully in the simplest way possible that we can present it to what is, I guess, a complicated formula. Now I want to talk about family tax benefit Part B, and I will go through briefly a bit about the eligibility criteria. So to be eligible, generally speaking, you've got to have a child, dependent child under the age of 18. Also, there's 2 levels of income test. The primary income earner, so the person that's got the most income in the household, must earn $150,000 per year or less. If they earn $155,000, automatically you don't qualify for family tax benefit Part B. The rate is reduced when the secondary income earner's income is greater than $4,745 per year. And importantly, it's also the same amount regardless of the amount of kids that you have. So again, we'll go through a chart to sort of illustrate family tax benefit Part B. So the vertical axis here is the fortnightly payment that you receive, but the horizontal axis down here is what we call the lower income earner's annual income. So again, to remember, to qualify for family tax benefit Part B, obviously the primary income earner must earn $150,000 per year or less. So if they earn more than that, then you're not going to qualify. But if they do, then this is the way the profile looks. So you can see you get maximum rate family tax benefit Part B until your income starts to exceed $4,745, which we start to see it taper away here. And then it just continues to taper down as a reduced rate until you exceed around the $22,000 worth of lower income earner. So if you put a situation to that, you might have a husband who is working full-time, earning $120,000 a year, and you've got the wife who's returning to work and thinking, I'm going to go back and work maybe 2 days a week and earn $20,000 a year. Well, in that situation, you will be eligible for some family tax benefit Part B, but roughly, if you're earning $20,000 a year, roughly $20 per fortnight. So not a huge amount. If not working at all, you'll be eligible for the maximum rate, $136.36 per fortnight. So that sort of covers off family tax benefit Part B. Now I just want to spend a bit of time talking about some childcare benefits that you can get and also the childcare rebate. So childcare is an important consideration. Obviously when you're starting a family and working out whether you're going to go back to work or whether you're going to put your kid into care, long daycare, you need to sort of be aware of what benefits that you're likely to receive. So we'll just talk briefly on the eligibility criteria and what you can get. Interestingly, the child must be immunised to qualify or have an exemption. I just put that up there to make people aware of that. You will receive the full childcare benefit payment if your family income or your household income is $38,763 or less. To qualify for any childcare benefit, your family income must be $134,443 per year if you've got one child, or $139,333 if you've got 2 children. That's a bit of a mouthful, but what we have is a range here. So the full payment, if your income is your family's income or household income, it's $38,763 or less, and right up, you receive a reduced payment right up to $134,443. I've got up there the maximum rate. So if you've got one child in approved care, the maximum that you can receive under the child care benefit is $184 per week. So that's to help offset the cost of childcare. The benefit itself can be paid one of two ways. It can be paid to the childcare centre as reduced fees or annually as a lump sum. Just a point on cash flow planning with the clients that I work with. Obviously, having it to the childcare centre is